To help in this endeavor, also using the gun disassembly 2 tool program, available on Steam and in other ways, to show in this virtual X-ray fashion how the magazines in AK-74 in this case, of course, look when inserting and rocking into the position. And we'll do the same for an AR. Take a look. I don't think many words are necessary. Of course, after watching the virtual model, we're going to switch to the real gun in just a few short moments. Maybe a minute or so. So now we're going to look at more detailed comparison between AR-15 and AK-74 magazines and their stability, their resilience, or how well they fit into the magwell. So, Bulgarian military magazine. I'm using a brown color so that it stands out on the rifle. And Bulgarian SLR 105 is probably a good example of a AK-74 as you can find this day. It's not 104, it's 105. So, as you can see, we have metal parts on the magazine, two pieces, both of them lock. And you have the rocking motion, right? So both of them lock. You have 2 points of contact. You have a little bit of a contact in the magwell, and we're going to measure how long that contact is. There is no wobble, well, little wobble actually. No side wobble, but a little forward wobble in this particular situation. So when we look at the magazine, my understanding is this is the amount that gets into the magwell, and that is 1¼ inch or so. In other words, about 3 centimeters if you want to use the metric system. So this is the magazine model for the AK. Again, I'm not using AK-47, that's exactly the same thing, it's just the different magazines, different rifles. There is no point of comparing that way. Now let's take a look at the AR-15 model. And as promised, the AR model, to show in a virtual way just how much of a magazine resides in the magwell on a stoner model. In this case, obviously that's an M4 and regular magazines. Take a look. This should help to follow the idea of this video. And on this note, thank you. And now going to look at it after the virtual model. We're going to look at it in the real gun. So now let's take a look at the,
or in my case, just a lower
magazine model, how it's inserted, how it's held in there, what supports it, and my personal point of view and conclusion. Well, as you can imagine, we have a variety of AR-15 magazines, probably more than you can count, and more companies coming out with them. However, I think Lancers is one of the very few that makes steel reinforced lips, which is plus, and also more reinforcement all around the magazine. As you can imagine, this is supposed to be metal, right? And as the magnet says, it is metal. It actually takes an effort to take the magnet off. Anyhow, so when we look at the magazine, we have several points of contact between the magazine and the magwell on the AR-15 system. One is the mag release item. I don't even know what to call this thing, which is plastic, unlike an AK magazine, where the mag release is metal. This is a metal piece. On an AR-15 magazine, it is plastic, at least on the Lancer. It might not be plastic on... I'm going to get one of my basic magazines. So it's not plastic on the default magazine. This is aluminum though. This is a mil-spec magazine. I don't know what company. So you have aluminum, 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 all over aluminum. However, only aluminum. So you see there is no metal here whatsoever. Unlike the Lancer that has steel pieces, steel reinforced lips. And I think it's probably at least as good as the default mag. Maybe better in some perspectives. At least you can see how many rounds you have. But when we insert the mag, you have several pieces that touch your magwell, as we can see. I mean, most of you know it already, but still, from comparison perspective. You have a steel piece, which is the mag release button, and the actual mag hold on there inside. So there is a steel to aluminum or steel to plastic in the situation, and you have aluminum to aluminum at the edge of the magazine. I don't remember what this word is in English, honestly. Sometimes I lose the vocabulary every once in a while after speaking some Russian. But at least it holds the magazine very steady, which is very, very useful. Also, not to forget that the mag is in the magwell for anywhere from 2 to almost 2.5 inches of the magazine, unlike 1.25 inch on an AK. So if we look at it, and it's probably easier to show the straight piece, straight part of the magazine, this part right here, which also of course allows for the much easier entry or insert of the magazine into the magwell, and makes it that much easier for us to use the gun, right? The pin for some reason is out or in. So from this perspective, I would say the mag is just as reliable in the magwell as an AK mag. However, I would not put as much pressure on it because only a little piece of metal holds it in there. And I don't know how easy it is to break it. Probably not easy. At least not on a original magazine, but if you use a plastic magazine, this is the only thing that's holding that mag in. Depends on the quality of the polymer or plastic. Hard hit with the magazine could possibly break, maybe not the mag release lever and the piece that holds it, but possibly the actual item here, and break the mag either into the rifle, bring it higher in, or simply break it and mag will fall out. As most of you have seen that the mags sometimes at the AD or bad round, they drop right out of the magwell. I have never seen that in an AK. I've seen AK videos at least, blow up and send pieces of AK flying, but the mag is possibly still in. Again, that could be a question. Obviously, I'm not an expert on this. I'm just one of the regular people trying to learn and share what I'm finding. So from this perspective, I would say that the AR system and AR magazines are just as reliable as the AK ones, but for certain pressures. The pressure of hitting the bottom of the mag on something. Hitting too hard. I know that in many cases, when people insert the mag, they hit them to make sure the mag is seated well. But imagine hitting it hard by accident, let's say by running into something or dropping the gun. What's going to happen? Don't know. That is to be determined. I'm not going to do it to one of my guns. But an AK is designed to survive that. People do push-ups on the mag. Look at the Rob and the AK Operators Union. Him and his friend enjoy doing rifle AK push-ups. I'm not crazy enough to do that, especially not on video, but one of these days I might get the gloves on and enjoy. On this note, I'm going to finish the video and this comparison, and I would say that if you have quality AR magazines, they should be reliable. Are the AK magazines better than AR magazines? The magazines themselves, yes, overall system I think is comparable because of the limitations in the design of both platforms. AK simply has a little bit less in certain areas as far as the magwell, which does add to that functionality and reliability of the AR system. Are they both fun? Absolutely. Are they both practical? Depends where you live. I think anybody that lives in the US, the AR system is going to be more practical. But you have to make sure you get a reliable AR-15 system. And on this note, I thank you for watching this video. And please subscribe, comment. And again, if you want to be practical, practice more. Because only practice can get you to perfection. And to reach perfection is impossible, so practice and practice. And again, I'm still trying to come up with a slogan. So you can laugh all you want.